Sometimes you don't survive whole, you just survive in part. But the grandeur of life is that attempt. It's not about that solution. It is about, being as fearless as one can and behaving as beautifully as one can under completely impossible circumstances. It's that makes it elegant. Good is just more interesting, more complex, more demanding.
Hey guys, welcome back to Matcha Monday. When you guys reach this video, clink, it will be just off of the spring equinox and Aries season has arrived. Aries season is one of my favorite seasons of all times. Let me tell you, the month of March and just Pisces season and just the emotional distraught I was in was not cute. Like Aries season, I pray she comes correctly. I tell you, for the last 3 months, for the first 3 months of this year, it has been like a freaking battleground. Like every day I'm waking up, I'm either having the most perfect day or I'm having the worst day. And you know what? That last day of Pisces season, she pieced me. No, she came with a purpose. So, you know what? I woke up yesterday, like I said, the first day of Aries season, and I was so ecstatic. I felt like a fresh new woman. I felt like I could do life again. And Pisces season, yeah, girl, you're out of here. Let's sip for Pisces season being over. Okay. Okay. So, for today's video, we're going to talk a lot about post grad life. And I know in my previous video, my previous Matcha Mondays, I kind of just went over some things about myself and where I am in life. And one of the things that I mentioned was that I graduated. I graduated with my bachelor's in science, majoring in psychology, from VCU. And since I've graduated, I definitely dealt with like the post grad depression. It was really challenging. It felt like, oh, I did this thing, but like it also felt like I didn't do the thing. Like, oh, you have something to be proud of. Like, you have a whole degree now. And it's like, well, I've been in school almost my whole life. So it just feels like, oh, I just, just got through another milestone. Like, of course I did, but this one was important. Like, you got your degree. You got your degree. Like, we got our degree. Like, so it was a lot. It was a lot to take in, to just accept. And sometimes, like, I just feel like I still haven't taken it in, or I still haven't realized the degree of how much having a degree actually means, for especially being a young black woman and also wanting to pursue my master's to further along in my journey. But it's like, girl, you gotta first appreciate and celebrate the first milestone first. But this post grad experience, girl, what the hell is this? What the actual hell? Okay. I feel like I am always on this constant roller coaster. And I don't know, it's because when I was younger growing up, I was such a child where my mom expected so much out of me, when it came to my grades, when it came to being that child for her that wanted to be that perfect child, because my mom went through a lot. And with my siblings and their attitudes and their time in school, so I felt like I had to be that perfect child. I literally remember one day I was in, like, I don't know, elementary school or middle school at this time, and I had this hard class, and I remember getting my report card back, and I had got a B in that class, y'all. And my mom was like, "Oh, good job, but like next time make it an A." And when I say that built some type of level of academic validation and perfectionism, I literally could not fathom when I even got to college and I would even get a C. Like, it broke me down. And sometimes, like, when I got to those last semesters, when I got to my last 2 years, I didn't care. I didn't care. As long as I was passing, I didn't care. I remember crying to my advisor because I had failed the class the first time. I remember crying to her because I'm like, girl, there is no way that getting my degree in psychology needs to be this hard and it has to be behind some statistics, bitch. Oh, I was livid. But anyways, just navigating through that post grad life and even through that experience, just remembering how much I endured. I don't think that I give myself enough credit that, girl, you literally did so much. It took me 5.5 years to graduate. Yes. So my first year of college, I went to NSU. If you look back at some of my old videos, I did some vlogs back then. Don't go back too far because it gets a little bit embarrassing. But anyways, I still wanted to keep up those videos to just show my growth as a teen, as a woman, and just, those early experiences. But yeah, I started off the first semester of my freshman year at Norfolk State University. Loved going to a HBCU, and that first semester at NSU, I was just so all over the place. I was going down a very, very unsafe road. I'm talking about dealing with unsafe people, unsafe men, like putting myself in predicaments where my life could have been easily taken away from me. I was feuding with my roommate, and it was a lot. Like, it was a lot for a little girl like me who just came out of high school, just developing herself and becoming who Daisy was. It was a lot to learn myself in that first semester of college. That was a whole different experience of just experiencing the changes of different people and myself at the same time, and then getting to know different people. It was a lot. And so it got too overwhelming to the point that I decided to transfer back to home. BCU was like one of my top schools, especially in the state of Virginia, and they have one of the best psychology programs. So I was ecstatic to know that I got in, because the first time that I applied in college, the first time that I applied in high school, I didn't get into VCU the first time. And so then I ended up getting into NSU at the, like one of those, you go in person to the table, you drop off your, what is it? Transcript. You drop off your transcript to the people and you get in, and I was very excited. But yeah, when I didn't get into VCU the first time, I was devastated, but when I got in the second time, I was so ecstatic. But yeah, I remember my first semester, my first year of VCU, and that just being such a shock, especially coming from NSU and being around, the totality of blackness. And then here I am feeling like a lost fish at this campus. And so it was a lot for me to also make that pivot. And also, one of the things that took me a while is because I went to community college for a while, finished up those credits until I could. And then I think that I was able to get the balance down enough. And boom, I was able to go back for my junior year, my senior year. I think I did most of my semester of my sophomore year at community college, and then I finished up the last bit of my junior year, senior year at VCU. So it was such a moment to know that I went through so many trials and tribulations just to even get my degree. And I remember, making YouTube videos talking about like how I was transferring, and also how I just wanted to give up because it was a lot. It was a lot to even experience, just being a culture shock from high school, then having to experience not liking the college that I was at, despite I love my HBCU, but not liking my experience. And then on top of that, another culture shock. Now I'm going to a PWI, don't really know anybody despite me being from the city, and I was also just going through a lot of mental things. It took me a while. It took me a lot, and it showed me perseverance. It showed me maturity. Shout out to my therapist that I no longer look. Shout out to my therapist that I no longer. She's no longer my therapist, but she really got me through my senior year. Even going through that process of just like, wow, like I did all of this for 5 years, and I'm here. This is finally it. I remember graduation. I'm like, oh, like, yes, like I'm so excited to graduate. Like, I remember being in Aruba at the time, literally a month before, in Aruba doing homework while I'm on my birthday vacation. So, it was a lot just happening, and I had just lost one of my friends my last semester of senior year. So it was a lot to even, it just felt like literally I was being put as God's strongest soldier to see if I could do it. Navigating in the post grad life experience has just been an experience in itself. I feel like also I'm going to talk in a reference a lot about being a multifaceted Black woman. Because I have this degree in psychology, I came out of it and still pursuing my creative career. So, you know, I'm telling people, hey, yeah, I just graduated with my psych degree. They're like, oh, okay, when you going back? When I'm going back, baby, can I get a breath of fresh air? Like, I remember literally 2 weeks after or a week after I graduated, my mom's like, okay, so when you get a job, what? I don't think that people understand the emotional, the mental, the physical, the spiritual, just ways of how college could just shape you, ruin you, prepare you, get you together. Like, you know, it's such a big milestone that a lot of people don't even get to reach. So for me to reach this big milestone in my life, and I don't even feel celebratory of it, or I just don't even realize the impact that it now has on my life, that I'm have a degree, and then I'm being faced with, okay, so when you going back to school, when you getting a job, when you gonna move out, when you, it's like, whoa, like society has so much on me right now. I don't even know what to do. This post grad life has been such an experience of where I'm constantly reshaping myself to figure out what works. And yes, I am a freelancer. Um I do virtual assistance and I do all these things creatively in my community, and just I love to help people. I love to, you know, be a vessel of what I am. But I realized finally, as of recently, that like, what are you doing for yourself? Like, what are you doing to excel yourself now in your long term career? Like, of course, the short term things are working because this is things that you are passionate about, but what actually do you want to do? There's just so many avenues of so many different things long term that I want to become, but I first have to fulfill what I feel is the short term things. You know, I'm a creative at heart. I cannot ever lose that spark, and I don't ever want to. So just having to decide, like, am I going to have to jeopardize my creativeness to get to where I need to be, or can I have the balance? So it's this constant battle of like, are you going to have to sacrifice the things that you really are passionate about right now, or can you merge those passions together? But in the same sense, it's that voice in the back of my head is like, yeah, you're not doing enough. Like, you're what are you doing? Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So not only am I dealing with this like little conscience, this little person on the side of my shoulder, like, yes girl, yes, do it, yes, do everything. And then I have this little this little being on my shoulder, like, oh my god, bitch, you're not doing enough. Like, go back to school, go learn some, go sharpen your skills. Like, what are you doing? You want to be a virtual assistant? You want to do this all your life? Like, it's crazy. It's actually insane how much intrusive thoughts and the words of others can like so much impact you. And it's just like, whoa, wait. Can we slow down for a second? Like, and don't even get me started. I know that we talked about this last time in my last video, but the job market, you're not making it any easier for post grads anyways. So like, it's just really, you really have to face your own intrusive thoughts, and you know what's topping those intrusive thoughts? The job market. So I'm just like, okay, right, so I obviously know that, okay, I'm happy with where I am, but as I'm applying myself to these opportunities that I know that I'm greatly so qualified for, I'm over here fixing my resume like 12,000 times, and I'm still getting denied. I'm still getting rejections each and every single day. Do you know how much of a mental strain that is for post grad people and just post grad students? And it's just like, you have to face society, you have to face the job market, you have to face your own inner criticism, and then you have to face what direction do you want to go in next. Like, is this like is this a trick? Like post grad depression is real, post grad confusion is real, post grad just like relapse of just always, and another thing that I dealt with in my post grad experience is like always feeling like I had to do an assignment, like always feeling like, oh wait, I gotta turn this in by 11:59. And I feel like that's also why I rush so much in my normal day to day. Like I'm feeling like I have to rush to do everything because I needed to get that assignment done by 11:59. I need to look, I'm in the function getting that assignment done at 11:59, like, you know what I'm saying? So it feels like such a high that I still haven't came down from. I remember graduating and I was like, I gotta wake up, like, you know, I have assignments due, and it's like, whoa, no you don't, like that's over. And that was a lot to take in. Like that was grief, it felt like, in itself, because it was like, oh wait, I don't, like, you know, wow, like this chapter is really done, like it's really, I really did that. And then we got to survive this current political climate and this, are you serious? Then we have to survive this economic climate in this too. And you mean to tell me I got to go back to school and pursue and like become everything I want to be, and I'm living in a world where I'm having to get up every day and think that if I even matter to this actual country. Yeah. But then I'm having to contemplate my life, like, wow, am I not doing enough? Or like, is going back to school even going to be worth it at this point? Like, what would this look like for the future of myself? Because the future right now is looking a little bit misty, is looking a little bit ugly. We have what, 3 more years of this? How do you even foster up this? Like, I applaud everyone who's going back to school, who's in school going to get their degrees. I applaud every freaking person. Like, truly, you are a true inspiration, because right now I don't have it. I can't, not in this political climate. I just have to put in the forefront of my mind that it's not just about me. It's not just about me. It's about the people that also need me, the people that also value the things that I have to give, whether that's just outside of creatively, whether it's spiritually, whether it's in my actual field. So getting started somewhere, it has to start, it has to begin. So that has been such a challenge of like having to consider myself and just my mental health, and just dealing with the climate of our current world, and also thinking about others and how, okay, well girl, if you're not going to do it, if you're not doing it now, like these people are going to need you. Like, because I know that I am such in a field, or I can be in fields that I know that I can be of value to others, especially their lives, you know. So it's the post grad experience has been almost in a sense like it's, I'm living in a limbo state. Like, all right, we got it. All right, I think I know what I'm wanting to do. Like, I think I know what makes me happy. I think I know, and I'm doing all these things, and I'm so proud that I do all the things that I want to do. But still, there's moments, and I was talking to my homeboy, like I'm telling him last night, but there's moments of myself that's just like, you're not doing enough. Like, bitch, get up. And that in itself just feels like so much. And I would like to talk about this in another video, but being a late bloomer to a lot of things, like I'm the first generation to graduate, you know, college and stuff. But even that is such a responsibility, because it feels like, oh, now I'm carrying a legacy that I still have to pursue, that I still have to go forward through. Like, I still have to finish off this marathon for my people, for my family. Like, I still have something to prove. And it's like, well, that's cute and all, but what are you proving to yourself? That you can work hard, that you can put yourself in a mental spiral just because you want to prove something? Like, it's constantly so many different thoughts, so many different things. And I know that I'm so capable of doing so much, of just even juggling multiple different things. But like, but like, but like, you know, and having to navigate through these 20s, navigating through later stages, any age, you know. And I always had a state of independence, but like to have to maneuver life on my own now, and like my life depends on my decisions. Are we okay? No. Like, are we okay? Like, girl, do I need to get married? Like, do I need to have kids? Like, what is it? Like, you know. And I don't ever want to think that I would never be satisfied. I'm so fulfilled with where I am right now, but I think that that post grad mind and not just that academic validation and those intrusive thoughts and the beliefs of what society has placed on to not only black women but post grad, students, and just like, okay, yeah, now you got to go get a job. Okay, I'm going to go get a job. I can't even get a job because motherfuckers don't want to hire me. Like, what am I supposed to do about that? Like, I'm applying to internships. I wake up. It's like, unfortunately, we loved your application. No, girl, we loved your application. We loved your resume. But, like, yeah, you're not going to get in. Like, oh, okay, all right. This job market is humbling, okay? Humbling. This shit will make you feel like you ain't even doing enough. Like, all the skills, all the things that you have, that it's not enough. They be like, I want you to be this is an entry level position, and then you have to have like 40 years of experience. What's going on? And then you can be so skilled to have the position, and they're paying like $2 an hour. What do you mean that you're paying $20 an hour for what? Like, even being and working in social media, there are social media management positions that like literally will say that the pay range is $17. $17 for social media, for management? Are we okay? Like, are we so cool? Like, do this job market even like me? Like, what am I going to have to do to even get through my everyday life? Like, it's already a struggle to get through this everyday life. And you mean to tell me I gotta wake up every day and look forward to being denied or not, or being ghosted by a job or these hiring managers, or going through with interviews thinking that you got the dang on interview? You know how they will gaslight you in the damn interview, you thinking that you got the position, and baby, you don't. Like, you're so faithful and you don't. See, that just builds up so much trust issues that I cannot get with. So that in itself, navigating through the job market, navigating through people that's just like, so girl, what you gonna do? So what you want to do? What's next? Girl, I don't know. I'm just trying to get through the next day of my life. Like, it just feels like such a time of constantly having to remind myself that what I'm doing is enough in my field of what I'm doing right now. No matter what it looks like, some days I know that I'm going to wake up and I may not be a fan of everything that I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing the best that I can. And I think that sometimes in our post grad experiences that we are doing the best that we can. Like, look at what's happening around us. Girl, you are doing the best that you can. And even when you feel like it's not enough, imagine you not doing anything. Imagine you literally don't have any ideas. You don't have any direction. And even if you don't, but like, you are doing the best you can. Sometimes breathing, sitting there and taking a breath, doing nothing in your day is you're doing your fucking best, right? And I feel like we all been so conditioned through these years to have our directions figured out for us. And when life does not go that way, like, it is such a toll. It is such a toll when you craft your life. I think back to like my 14-year-old self. I'm like, yeah, by 25, like, I'm gonna have my own car, I'm gonna have my own place, like, I'm gonna be so up. Like, girl, we barely try to figure out what we gonna eat for breakfast. Like, 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 what is going on? So I just, I really have to give myself a lot of grace, and I think that we all have to give ourselves a lot of grace in this experience and going through college now and getting your degree and feeling like, maybe you want to stop, or not feeling like it's going to work out. But like, when you cross that finish line, even though it may feel a little bit strange at first, like, it's going to feel good. I'm a proud believer that my degree also doesn't define my destination. Like, there's so many paths in my life that I could take, and there's so many things in this life that I can do. It can be so much sometimes when you're just navigating in through your everyday experiences, and then you have to balance of taking care of relationships, taking care of friendships, also being there for people in their own post-grad experience or their everyday lives. So it's like you really have to surround yourself with community of people that also get you, that also get it. I need somebody to talk to about why life feels hard right now. Why does going out in this world, you take one step out the door and you're spending $1,000? I need somebody to understand the experience. And that is so important about having community and going through anything in life, but also just the post-grad experience of like, okay, girl, what are we doing? Like girl, what's going on? Like actually what's happening in our lives, and how can we take charge? This also is not to say that you want people in your circle and people in your life that you can consistently dwell with, but people that you can relate to, but also people in your life that you can also get things done with. You know what I'm saying? So also having community in that way of people that motivate you, people that want to help you thrive, but also people that relate to you in this entirety of this process. Because yes, I can go lollygag with my homegirl on the phone for hours about why life just feels very difficult, but yeah, so let's set out some goals for ourselves. Like what we gonna do in our everyday lives to make sure that we are still fulfilled, at least in our everyday, like we still have something to look forward to, because this life can be so hard. um and sometimes people do not understand that enough, especially people who do not relate to the experience that you have. They always want to tell you about your life. They always want to tell you about your experience. You thinking you pouring wisdom, baby, you are pouring sorrows. Okay, you are pouring stress. But yeah, so you also just have to surround yourself with so much community, and I'm so blessed to have the community that I do and the friends that I do, that we're not scared to tell each other like, yeah, bitch, I'm going through it. Like, girl, yes, we're going the fuck through it, but like we gonna be up. Like we gonna be up. Like we're still up. Like you still that girl. Like we have to constantly remind ourselves, like, though this life may be kicking our asses, and though this post grad life may feel like a lot, but like you still that girl. Like, and I feel like you have to have that balance of relatability, but also people who see the best in you just as you need to see it in yourself. And just surrounding yourself with people that also want to get you to your next point. I am so big on surrounding myself with people who are in places that I want to be in, because they always will. And if they are willing, I pray to God that they are always willing to help you. But always surrounding yourself with people that you are inspired by, because they will help you to your next opportunities. They can tell you something. If I know that you never lived this experience and you trying to tell me something about my life, I'm not listening to you. So when I look at black women who are in doula work or who are in life coaching, black women who are also mentors, like I'm taking up space with that person to make sure that I make those connections, because you never know what the next person is connected to. You never know how that person can show up in your life and literally change it for the better. So always have the right people in your life that motivate you, that inspire you, because you just never know how much of an importance somebody can be to you. And that's why getting outside, going out and being in these conferences and these talks, being out in our communities, being out and attending these events are so important, like CultureCon and all these different things where you see the representation of yourself and the things that you want to do despite your degree and what it's in, but being the spaces that you can see your future self in. And I think that's really important. I'm firm and secure to know that I literally have some type of direction. I also know that my path is not linear. So, I just have to take that in. And that's where I give grace, and that's also where I pat myself on the back, cuz girl, you still doing it. You still doing it, girl. Like a couple of years ago, you couldn't even cook your own meals. Like you couldn't even like make your own decisions. Like you have so much autonomy of your life right now, and that's scary. And that's really scary to be navigating through that, of having so much now control that every decision that you make kind of your life depends on it. But again, the values of community, the values of surrounding yourself in places and spaces where people are who motivate you, surrounding yourself with people that can relate to you but also motivate you, And also knowing that your path doesn't have to look like everybody, okay? Your path does not have to look like everybody else's. And that's so hard to sometimes understand, especially in a digital world, when we're seeing so much of people doing this thing and you feel like you're so behind in life, but you are doing the best that you can, and your journey is so unique to you that your own testimonies, the things your trials and tribulations, baby, they're building you up for something greater. Thank you guys so much for talking with me and doing this little post grad life little session. I hope that you guys take care of yourselves. I hope that anyone who can relate, just know that I am so proud of you, and I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Cheers.